So tonight's power thought, and this is Kendall Bryan Hunter, the Midnight Philosopher, is God omnipotent? Now, quoting from Alvin Plantinga, Gods and Other Minds, he raises this question. Premise one, either God can make things he cannot control, or God cannot make things he cannot control. Two, if he can, then if he did, he would not be omnipotent. Three, if he cannot, then there are things which he cannot do, and hence he is not omnipotent. Interesting logical dilemma. People rephrase that argument this way. When they talk about God's omnipotence, they say, X is omnipotent if and only if X is capable of performing any logically possible action. And this is from page 169 of God and Other Minds. And so you have this question that arises. Okay, God can only do things that are logically possible, but question, did God create logic? That's an interesting question. If you're coming from a Roman Catholic or evangelical or Protestant position, like Thomas Aquinas, you're starting from the premise of ex nihilo creation, that God creates the universe, something akin to the Big Bang. And actually, ex nihilo creation and Big Bang theory work really well together. However, what you're taught in the LDS Church, and there's Joseph Smith, and this is from section 93, but also in the Book of Moses and the Book of Abraham, that when God created stuff, he's actually taking pre-existent matter and creating it. In other words, God did not create everything. Now, this solves a lot of logical problems. One of the biggest one is the nature of evil. Since God did not create everything, he's not responsible for what happens. And it's the same thing, too, with logic, is that God did not create logic. It's something that's pre-existent or co-eternal with him, like matter, intelligence, and other things like that. This harkens back to, forgot something. Plato's discussion in the Euthyphro, whether things are good because God said they're good, or since these things are inherently good, God commands us to do these things. Is it something inherent, or did God create everything? Is everything just positive or conventional obedience, or are the things inherent in the nature? The LDS answer is, yeah, there's some things that are just inherently good because there's things co-eternal with God. That just goes back to the things that Joseph Smith taught in section 93. And so that's how you get out one way to get out of the omnipotence problems. That, well, no, God's not omnipotent in the sense that he doesn't create everything, but within the context, yeah, he does have the power. So it's a little tricky, but you have to pay close attention to the LDS philosophy, and also make sure that you're not secretly bringing in ex nihilo creation, that you're good LDS following Joseph Smith and not Thomas Aquinas on this one. And that's tonight's power thought.